Hey guys, welcome back to This Week in Metal, the 2nd of June 2019. I am Super Metal Brother Matt.
And I'm Super Metal Brother Dan.
We are the Super Metal Brothers here. If you don't know who we are, we like to talk about the metal news and a bunch of other stuff. And Danny, we've had a big week of metal, as you can tell.
Yeah, this shit just keeps on giving. And what it's giving is really good albums. And, so stay tuned.
We'll stay tuned for that later, guys. Let's talk about Megadeth, and we have ourselves a big talking point, as you can see right here. They continue to work on this new album, and they're showing a couple of photos from it, Danny. So for those people who are a Dave Mustaine fan, or more importantly, maybe like a Dirk of Ewan fan, which I think is the natural dream of it. Here we go. We've got a picture to show you. There it is. It's Kikler Ren. I think that's Dirk in the far end. And not seeing here is obviously Dave Mustaine.
I guess he took the photo.
I don't think so.
You'd probably see like orange hair in front of the lens.
Exactly. You would see it come in front of it. So I'm guessing he was enjoying himself, maybe a holiday somewhere, or
there's like a spy cam to make sure they're rehearsing. He's like, "Hey, I know you're not playing your songs. Hurry up!"
Yeah. Well, as you can see here, they reported early this morning that they're doing a follow-up to 2016's Dystopia. We never reviewed that album. We haven't actually gotten into Megadeth as of late. If you guys want us to talk about them, though, let us know. We will do it, kicking and screaming, probably. We've got a little talk here from Dave Mustaine talking to Music Radar, saying we're going to do 12 to 13 tracks this time. My contract says I'm only supposed to do 8 songs a record, and I just can't do that. It feels like cheating.
What a top bloke.
What a top bloke. He just keeps on giving it. You're welcome, internet. He said he used to grow up listening to vinyl. It was a lot easier to buy records and happy with 45 minutes of music. Then digital world came, paradigm shifts, and now you need more to keep their people entertained. Is that true, Danny?
I want to say more. I mean, Nails, apparently everybody loves Nails. Their songs go for like a minute and a half tops.
Right.
Their album went for 22 minutes.
I know.
10 tracks.
People have bowel movements that last longer than that, and not as violent. Well, if it is as violent, see a doctor.
Yeah, it's all about quality. You want quality songs. You don't want quantity. I mean, if 8 songs is enough, but he stretched it out to 12 by playing certain songs backwards or like cutting and paste songs together, you don't want those songs.
Nevertheless, we'll move on to our next story here. Sharon Osbourne. She gets a new face in August. Danny, what's wrong with her old face? I don't know. Maybe she just needs a new personality. I wonder if there's a doctor for that.
Yeah, be careful now with this because of the those new iPhones. They do like face recognition to open your phone. She's gonna like struggle. She gets your phone and it's like, oh, here
this person tried to break into your phone. She'd be like a chameleon. She said, I'm gonna have it in August. So when I get back to film September, I'll have a new face. I never took a picture to a doctor and said, I want to look like Catwoman, for instance. No, she doesn't want to go as far as that. She just doesn't want to look like her mum. So honestly, she's probably not getting invited to a Christmas party.
The other issue was like, Ozzy's memory's not as good as it used to be. So Ozzy's going to see after surgery.
Yeah.
Who are you again? I'm your wife. Nah, I know my wife, what it looks like.
I'm looking forward to, I guess, seeing the reaction of mum saying, well, what's wrong with my face?
Yeah, what's wrong with my face?
You know? But then again, I think, isn't her mum dead, though? I mean, she's in her late 70s.
Wow, Homer's doing well.
Yeah. She could like pry open the casket to see. Oh, look like
that. That's why. Maybe it's like spider or something. Like, I'm not gonna die, lady. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think she'll be in prison for the it was a grave robbing. But nevertheless, good luck with all of that. Slash talking here about Guns N' Roses, Danny. I guess. I don't know how a lot of people feel about it, but the general consensus is that either you love or hate Guns N' Roses, and that comes between not only just the music, but the people in the band as well. Generally, Slash is loved by everyone, much like Santa Claus, but Axl Rose is more like the Grinch, you know, where only real trolls can love the guy, and even then they find it hard to really defend some of his stuff.
Yeah, like that story last year, he sent some guy back to London to pick up his like yellow jacket.
That's
right. He got a yellow jacket. He could buy like 20 million of those yellow jackets, but he wanted his jacket. So
yeah.
Anyway, but Slash like kind of double backs in his interview. He goes, "Oh, I don't want to be one of those guys that says we're doing something. We're not really doing anything. We're not at the moment. Yeah, but yeah, now we're doing something. It's like, wait, are you doing something? Aren't you doing something?"
I've actually got here a quote. He talked to 101 WRIF Detroit's The Meltdown. He said, "The thing is, we haven't really done anything yet. I don't like to say anything. You know how people used to promote shit and lie through their teeth. So I just wanted to be honest about it. So there was really no telling what we're going to do at that point. But at this point, I do know that we're going to do this run of shows in the fall. We've already started working on stuff. So there you go. Stuff could mean working on a track, or maybe he played a riff and they was like, oh, that's not so bad."
Well, he starts a conversation like, "Oh, we haven't done anything." And he ends, "Yeah, no, we've done stuff." It's, you know, that episode like Dave Chappelle when they're viewing Rick James?
Yeah.
Nah, the grammar been shown his couch. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I remember Graham. It's like that. It's like you literally can't remember to start a conversation anymore.
You know, I think the guy's drunk so much liquor that he's just residually got a hangover for the next 3 or 4 decades. There's something he's going to have to deal with. I mean, they replaced his kidneys or something with a working pig valve or something.
So one of these guys want to break the record again for like most expensive album produced. That was what, 10 million to make an album.
Yeah,
people loved it, man. Like, oh, Guns N' Roses is gonna be the best thing
that's
since
right.
album.
So if you are a Guns N' Roses fan, or maybe you're a Tool fan, which is one of the same, get ready for the weight of the
album
century. Album of all years. Five Finger Death Punch. Ivan Moody. He said that Rob Halford is one of his sober coaches. Maybe one day he can be one of his vocal coaches as well, Danny.
Yeah.
Actually, Ivan Moody's alright.
No.
That's a bit harsh. We actually don't mind. It's one of the saving graces, I think, from Five Finger Death Punch's latest album when we reviewed it. You know, Ivan Moody's delivery was very, very good. Subject matter wasn't really my thing.
Yeah, lyrics are pretty average, but his tone's pretty good.
What's the shop? Love shops. Banged a girl. Love girls. And
and screw was it Blabbermouth and stuff? Yeah, Metal Sucks. Yeah,
although, you know, I can get behind that. It's just, you know, nevertheless, we got here a quote from the Jasta show when he was talking to the Hatebreed guy, Jamie Jasta. He said, Rob, obviously from Judas Priest, is actually one of my, and I hate to put it this way, sober coaches. He's been sober now for almost 40 years, and when I went through the recovery, and even my bandmates and I weren't talking, Halford was on the phone with me. I got 2 10-minute phone calls a day.
Wow.
And Halford was one of them every single day, no matter where he was in the world. He'd pick up, he left messages, he sent me cards. Jonathan Davis of Korn was the same way, very supportive of me, and this was coming from a kid who grew up with Judas Priest. And he's turning it around, and this guy's like a father to me in certain ways, and very much a piece of who I am now. So, big news. I mean, that's pretty amazing. I mean, you get more things done when you haven't got a hangover and you're not drunk. And here we go, making contacts and talking to big players.
It's pretty impressive, man. So Rob Halford, he's like, don't they call him like the metal god at the moment? You can see why. He like,
oh yeah,
come with me, child. I shall take you to the promised land.
I mean, you think 10 minutes a day of phone calls is great, but like the thing is, he's doing like once or twice a day. Like, I forget to eat sometimes for 8 hours. Can you imagine that? Like, this guy's like, life depends on your phone call.
Do you think like Rob Halford's turned to like that old like parent type thing, but he hasn't got kids, so he uses our music kids. He just calls about like random things that happen in his day. Like, oh yeah, I didn't tell you about like the postman. Like, he really struggled to get the package in, so he had to roll it up to get it in. And so just you know, take care.
Yeah, that's exactly how I imagine
2 minutes
conversation
later.
to be.
Oh, you know, I put the tea bag in for 2 minutes this time instead of 3. It's not strong, but I think it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think credit goes to Rob Halford as this week's Metalhead of the Week.
Yeah,
because
really
2 conversations with someone who's kind of like relapsing or whatever wouldn't be too easy. But you know, he's helped the guy through it, and congratulations.
Yeah, no, it's very nice.
Very, very nice.
Very nice.
Iron Maiden, Danny, your boys, you absolutely love these boys. They file a $2 million trademark lawsuit over the Iron Maiden video game. Now, apparently, and this is according to the Daily Beast, they're suing 3D Realms. Now, Daniel, the game developer 3D Realms should be most thanked for the Duke Nukem's.
Oh, you can tell.
Wolfenstein 3D, and obviously now the belated Iron Maiden. Not Iron Maiden, there is the R missing.
There's no R.
But there is a lawsuit, Danny. Defendants Iron Maiden's name, this is due to the lawsuit claims, that's nearly identical to Iron Maiden's. The Iron Maiden's almost identical to Iron Maiden. The sound and overall commercial impression, defendant also used the Iron Maiden name to sell merchandise, including shirts and mouse pads. Oddly specific for merchandising here. Defendant's infringement is incredibly blatant. Defendant is undoubtedly aware of Iron Maiden's existence and attempting to trade off Iron Maiden notoriety because in Allah, defendant chose to use virtually exact Iron Maiden trademark and was instructed to cease and desist by the plaintiff. Now, have you seen it?
I did see it.
What do you think?
Well, the video game pretty much looks like Duke Nukem. So,
yeah.
3D Realms have not improved their quality.
Yeah, they should be suing.
25 years.
3D Realms should be suing themselves for ripping themselves up too much. Yeah, don't worry about Iron Maiden.
That was atrocious.
Do the Egyptians have a case here? I mean, they've just completely appropriated a culture and used the name there. Like, what's going on? How is this name important, Danny?
Well, I mean, yeah, the name on paper looks similar, but their font and their text is completely different. So that's one thing.
I didn't see Eddie once in the film clip. There was no power metal, which is a great thing for the video game.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, Danny. You know, it's a bit rough.
Yeah, but even the covers, like, it's a girl who more looks like Samus or whatever's from Meteoroid.
That's right. So basically, it's just the name. So if a guy called himself Soul at work, they would have a case apparently, or maybe in Into Flames. There's a couple others I can think of right now, Danny, but
There's probably others I'm not clever enough to think of at the moment.
Deep Orange.
Deep Orange.
You know, I don't
Deep
know.
Puppet. Deep People.
Puppet. It's a bit of a case. But I think this is almost a Gene-like thing to do. I don't know if Iron Maiden really need to worry about
They
it.
got enough money.
They got enough money. It's a bit harsh. I don't know. I think if it's one letter missing, is that enough these days? I don't know.
It's not even like related. One's a video game. I know they make their own video games, but your video games aren't like this video game. I don't know. But who cares? Man? Like, people getting money from your name. So what? Are you helping other people out? Be nice. Come on.
Well, we talked about Rob Halford as hero, but now how about villain? You know, we did talk about
semi-villain.
Semi-villain, maybe. Who knows?
Quasi-villain.
To one person, he was a villain, and that was the person who had a phone. Now he's lost it. Apparently, what happened though was that Rob Halford has kicked a phone out of a person's hand at a concert. The reason why is because the light on the phone was just too much for the veteran singer to handle, and drastic measures needed to be taken, and that thing was sent into the road just behind the gentleman.
It's a good field goal. Apparently he's a massive like Sheffield United fan because he wrote that song for Sheffield United Football Club.
It looked like more of a punt than it did an actual kick.
Like
I don't know if he kicks goals like that. Yeah, because he kind of toed it. But those things he was wearing looked pretty heavy. So
yeah, but we're really annoying because he whenever he does his power vocals, he always bends down at the waist to scream. Quite unique. Normally you want extend, but he does it that way. Fine.
Yep.
So I guess every time he looks down to like do his power things, he has this like blinding light right in his face. He's like, "No, I can't tolerate this." And I think it was good for a while when the guy just had his camera, but he was doing like the whole like gig with his like big light on, just like 2 or 3 hours away. I guess that was enough for Rob Halford to be like, "No, see you later, mate."
Well, it must be the song Judas Rising that inspired him to do so. So congratulations for the band writing that song. Because one day they knew they would need to take on the enemy, and that was someone who's in their young teens, probably, or older, being a troll.
That like footage would be quite good actually. He just, hey, Rob Halford, he's getting awfully close.
You see this like Rob Halford, all of a sudden there's like the ceiling, catching some rows. The thing is, like, we've seen people before talk about how this is bad having people have cameras at concerts. One, Corey Taylor from Slipknot, which we covered before, Sully Erna from Godsmack, and Sebastian Bach from Skid Row. They've all critiqued from people who bring phones, and that they should really just enjoy the show. Yeah. Again, we've kind of talked about it before. I think a phone's okay, but don't be a dick about it, and especially don't bring anything bigger than a phone.
Oh, you get those tablets.
We have the tablets, like people recording on a tablet, and I'm like, dude, cameras these days are better than what you can buy in shops on your phone. Yeah. You just don't need to do it.
But like, the whole concert, like, be part of the concert, because I mean, actually, phones are getting better, of course.
Well, the problem I find is that why has he got a light on his phone for? He must have forgotten, because like the stage is lit enough, you know. There's so many neons and blah blah blah.
Yeah, what's your phone doing?
What's the phone doing up with the light?
Like go there, like the Rock, you sit down the turnbuckle. Everybody's all these flashes go off, and flashes don't work from like 30 meters away. People.
How cool does it look? But his thing wasn't flashing; it was just on, like just trolling. Yeah. So for one person, it would have been really annoying. Oh, well, good luck with all that. We've got another show here with Corey Taylor. We just talked about Corey Taylor before with his hatred of people who bring phones to concerts.
And a lot of things.
Yeah, he does have a lot of... the metal community really needs to know what Corey Taylor has to say, and here we are making sure that we get on that as well. He blew out his left testicle down singing. How do you do that?
I think because he was trying to do some falsetto and like, you know, the joke, you grab your nuts to sing higher. You might have grabbed a bit too hard and sing a bit too high.
Yeah, that's a joke, right? Corey didn't realise that. He's like, I think so. Really?
I mean, how else you do it? Like, you're singing, you sing through your diaphragm, you don't sing through your junk, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I think what he was doing when he was singing is more important than how he was singing. Because like you said, that's the way it is.
Maybe like when like slammed the mic down and just ruptured.
I was just glad that there weren't any pictures shown. Because normally it comes with an adjacent picture of him like taking a pee and seeing a ruptured scrotum. But none of that's available online. And I didn't really take time to check.
I still don't know how you can... Like, I maybe shit your pants. Because you push your diaphragm to how you shit yourself. But the ruptured testicle, normally that's like... a physical hit. I don't understand how you, physically, I don't understand how you could do that. Is he taking a piss? Maybe he's taking a piss because he hit such a high note that he kind of ruptured his testicle.
Well, he said here he was working, and he's talking on Twitter about working with my 87 Dockins high notes this morning. Danny, you're familiar with Dokken at all?
Yeah, they did that song Dream Warrior from Nightmare on Elm Street. That's kind of like the only Dokken song I know.
Was that a high song? I'm thinking it is. So there you go. Careful on re-entry, kids. So I'm not too sure what he did during or after it, but yeah, his peeing was bloody, and that's gross.
That's not metal. That's pretty shit.
All right, well, with that, we end our news, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this week. And if you guys want to leave a comment or a like, whatever, let us know what news stories you want us to do for next week's show. In the meantime, I'm Super Brother Matt.
I'm Super Brother Daniel.
We are the Super Brothers. Thank you guys for watching us. We'll catch you next week.